Good evening. We begin tonight with significant developments concerning U.S. President Donald Trump, from the renaming of a major Florida airport in his honor to a dramatic interception of a civilian aircraft near his residence, and shifts in U.S. foreign policy affecting Cuba and Europe. First, a major change for travelers in the Sunshine State. The Palm Beach International Airport is set to be renamed the President Donald J. Trump International Airport. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill to enact this change. The new name is scheduled to take effect on July 1st, pending approval from the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA. President Trump frequently uses this airport for flights to his nearby Mar-a-Lago estate. His son, Eric Trump, publicly welcomed the decision on social media, expressing his pride in having contributed to the effort. The FAA has characterized the renaming as a local matter, but highlighted the need for technical adjustments to navigation, data, and other systems. Democrats have voiced strong criticism of the renaming, particularly concerning the estimated $5 million cost, arguing that these funds should instead be allocated to addressing the rising cost of living for Floridians. In other news from Florida, U.S. fighter jets recently escorted a civilian aircraft out of restricted airspace near President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. The incident occurred on Sunday when the aircraft reportedly entered the no-fly zone over Palm Beach. The North American Aerospace Defense Command, or Norad, confirmed that the plane was safely guided out of the area. Typically, such airspace restrictions are enforced whenever the president is in residence. During the interception maneuver, flares were deployed, which may have been visible to the public. NORAD explained that these flares were used to attract the pilot's attention and establish communication. NORAD has reported several similar incidents since President Trump's return to the presidency last year, all of which have concluded without harm. Shifting our focus to international relations, the United States is reportedly easing its de facto oil blockade against Cuba, allowing a Russian tanker to deliver oil to the Caribbean island. According to a report by the New York Times on Sunday, which cited a U.S. government official, the reasons behind President Trump's administration's decision to permit this delivery remain unclear. Ship tracking data from LSLG indicates that the tanker, named the Anatoly Kolodkin, which is currently subject to U.S. sanctions, is en route to Cuba. The vessel departed from the Russian port of Primorsk, while LSEG data estimates the cargo at approximately 650,000 barrels of crude oil. The New York Times reported the figure as 730,000 barrels. This delivery is expected to significantly alleviate the severe energy crisis currently gripping Cuba. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel stated that the country has not received any oil imports for the past 3 months, leading to strict gasoline rationing and widespread power outages across the nation. Finally, John Bolton, President Trump's former national security advisor, has advised European nations to adopt a more assertive role in the ongoing conflict with Iran. In an interview with the Augsburger Allgemeine newspaper, Bolton emphasized that Iran is geographically closer to Europe than to the United States. He also noted that Iran's missile capabilities appear to extend further than previously thought, potentially reaching nearly all of Europe. Bolton pointed to the economic impact on the continent due to rising oil prices and highlighted Europe's recurring vulnerability to Iranian-directed terror attacks. German opposition leader Friedrich Merz, leader of the CDU party, had previously criticized the actions taken by Israel and the United States against Iran, stating, "Germany is not part of this war and we do not want to become part of it." Responding to such sentiments, Bolton urged Europe to carefully consider its reactions concerning President Trump, asking, "What is best for us?" He asserted that the national interests of both Americans and Europeans are closely intertwined in this matter. Bolton further warned that if Europeans maintain that Iran is not their war, it could empower President Trump to similarly declare that Ukraine is not America's war, an outcome that would only serve the interests of Russian President Vladimir Putin. John Bolton served as National Security Advisor under President Trump from 2018 to 2019, later resigning due to disagreements and becoming a vocal critic. What's your take on Florida airport renamed for Trump? Jet's Intercept Plane? Share your view in the comments. Do you think this will matter in the next news cycle? This video was generated using artificial intelligence.